Hello, and welcome to Aurora's Committee of Adjustment meeting. The time is 7:04 p.m. on Thursday, September the 11th, and I would like to call this Committee of Adjustment meeting to order. I'll start by introducing the committee members present and staff. I'm the committee chair. My name is Alita Tari, and the remaining members are as follow. The committee vice chair is Michael Visconti, John Hartman, and Maricela Sauceda. The secretary treasurer is Stephanie February, and the senior planner is Antonio Greco. The town of Aurora acknowledges that the Anishinaabe lands on which we live and work are the traditional and treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, as well as many other nations whose presence here continues to this day. As the closest First Nation community to Aurora, we recognize the special relationship the Chippewas have with the lands and the waters of this territory. They are the water protectors and environmental stewards of these lands. And as a municipality, we join them in these responsibilities. We further acknowledge that Aurora is part of the treaty lands of the Mississauga and Chippewas, recognized through Treaty Number 13, as well as the Williams Treaties of 1923. A shared understanding of the rich cultural heritage that has existed for centuries and how our collective past brought us to where we are today will help us walk together into a better future. So the first item on tonight's agenda is the approval of the agenda. If I could please get a motion. John?
Madam Chair, I would approve or have a motion to approve the agenda as stated Thursday, September 11th, 2025 for the Committee of Adjustment.
Thank you. And if I can please get a seconder. Thank you, Maricela. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. The next item is a declaration of interest. Does anybody have a declaration of interest to declare? Okay, seeing none. And of course, if you do feel that you have one through the meeting, you could always advise me. The next item on the agenda is the receipt of the meeting minutes from August 14th. If I could please get a motion to confirm those minutes. Thank you, Michael.
I move to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Recorded.
Thank you. And
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Before, I don't know, sorry, I might be a little bit out of order. On page 6,
yeah,
there's a statement made about willing to provide a traffic statement if the application was differed. I think the word should be deferred. I do believe so. Matter of record. Right towards the end under section 7.4. The paragraph begins with committee member Michael Visconti, and then at the end of sentence is differed, and it should be deferred, I believe.
Right. Yeah, if the application was deferred. Okay, just to confirm, Stephanie, can that administrative change be taken care of?
Through Madam Chair, yes, we can take care of that.
Thank you. So all in favor? Carried. Thank you. So tonight's public meeting is being audio and video recorded. It is also being conducted virtually and through the use of Zoom technology. Your name, address, comments, and any other personal information are being recorded according to the Municipal Act and the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. This will help our town clerk prepare accurate minutes and to create a record that is available to the general public, including on the town's website. Any questions about this collection should be directed to the town clerk. You can please be advised that the reports being considered tonight are available on the Town of Aurora website and through staff at the town's planning department. Should you wish to receive notifications of any of tonight's decisions, please complete the appropriate form available through town staff. Applicants and agents will automatically be notified. For each application that will be considered tonight, the following process will occur. I will briefly outline the purpose of the application, and then the applicant and/or agent will then be given an opportunity to make a presentation. It is the applicant's decision whether they wish to speak or to let the application proceed on the merits of the information as received. Presentations and deputations are limited to 5 minutes as much as possible. Following any initial comments from the applicant, I will invite members of the public who have an interest in the application to come forward and address the committee. Those members of the public who wish to speak must clearly state their name and address and must provide this information to the Secretary Treasurer. Should you wish to obtain a copy of the notice of decision, please complete the appropriate form through the Secretary Treasurer. Members of the public are also reminded that text comments are not permitted during the meeting and that they will not be noted in any manner or at any time. Each individual may speak only once on an issue, and once discussion has commenced in respect of a motion, no further presentations shall be made. If you do require any technical assistance with your presentation, please let me know. If you wish to speak and are currently following the meeting on YouTube, please turn that feed off and join the live meeting, as there is a slight lag between the YouTube and the live feed. Please ensure that all questions and/or comments are directed through me as the chair, and if relevant, I will ask the appropriate person to respond. It should be noted that the applicant will be given the opportunity to respond to any questions or comments should the committee feel that it is appropriate. So our first application on tonight's agenda is MV 2025-33 for 6 Northern Dancer Lane. For this particular one, staff are requesting that the subject application be deferred for consideration pending staff's review of a revised site plan drawing. The applicant has also been aware of the deferral recommendation. So if I could please get a motion to defer this application. Michael?
Through you, Madam Chair, I move to defer MV 2025-33.
Thank you. And if I can please get a seconder. Thank you, John. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. The next item is MV 2025-34, and this is 340 Addison Hall Circle. The owner applicant is requesting relief from the requirements of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate the reconstructing of the parking lot. The following relief is being requested. Section 5.4 parking standards of zoning bylaw 6000-17 requires 54 parking spaces. The applicant is requesting to provide only 47 parking spaces. Section 24.443.4 of the zoning bylaw 6000-17 requires a minimum of 10% of every lot which a building or structure is erected shall be used for no other purpose than landscaping. The applicant is requesting to provide only 8% of the landscaping. Planning staff have reviewed this application regarding section 41, subsection 1 of the Planning Act as amended, and believe that the requested variance meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act for granting the minor variance. Staff are recommending approval of the requested variance subject to the conditions outlined in Appendix A attached to the report. I don't know if anyone has questions. And actually, I'm not sure, Stephanie is the applicant. Oh, okay. Hi, Lynn. If you could hear us, your camera's not on and you're muted right now.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I'll try to start.
So Lynn, if you can please do me a favor, if you could please state your name and address so that the secretary can have that for the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Lynn, Lynn, and last name Han. My address is at 340 Edison Hall Circle. It's the new business park.
Thank you. Excuse me, sorry about that. Did you have a presentation for the committee, or did you just want it to go on the merits of the staff report?
And yes, we do have a representative. That's our GC. And I'm still waiting for them to sign in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
While we're waiting to see if your representatives are going to sign in, I'm just going to ask Stephanie, are there any requests to speak on this application?
Sorry, are you asking for Stephanie?
Stephanie, yeah.
Mhm.
3, Madam Chair, we don't have any residents requesting to speak for this application. I do have a question for Lynn. We have someone in the chat, or sorry, in the waiting room named Ming. Are they here for your application?
So Lynn, is that the name of the individual that is supposed to be coming in? They have someone in the waiting room, Lane, I think
Yes, that's Michael.
that, oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that.
Thank you.
And Stephanie, I believe that there was some correspondence received for this application. Do you need a motion to receive that, or that's fine?
3, Madam Chair, we do not need a motion to receive that.
Thank you.
Um, 3, Madam Chair, Ming is now in the meeting with us.
Okay. So Ming, if you could hear us, you're muted right now, so we're unable to hear you, and I'm not sure if you have the ability to turn your camera on as well. I'm not sure, Lynn, if maybe, did you want to try just, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to
There you go.
ring him. Oh,
So I see that he sent a message saying he doesn't have a mic. So I'm not sure how we're supposed to hear what he has to say. I'm not sure if he is joined with a laptop or if he is joined with a phone, but I'm just wondering maybe if he's joined with a laptop, if maybe Antonio, go ahead.
Through you, Madam Chair, the applicant can let the staff report speak for itself, or they could just provide a verbal presentation. So maybe, Lynn, are you seeking to provide a verbal presentation because the verbal presentation is sufficient? Or you could just let it rest on the merits of the staff report.
and actually, I didn't prepare for that. I hope my representative will come in for this meeting. And let me find out.
I know Ming wrote in the chat that he's on a desktop, so I guess that's why he doesn't have a microphone. The only other thing I'm thinking is if he has a cell, if he wants to disconnect from the desktop and try connecting through his cellular phone, and that way he might have the ability where we could actually hear and probably even see him. Antonio?
Through you, Madam Chair, maybe we could start with committee questions if there's any questions, we can maybe get those addressed.
Sure. I'm not sure if anybody does have any questions. Thank you, Antonio.
Michael?
Yes, through you, Madam Chair. I had the opportunity to drive by the property. I guess it's still under construction. But I noticed as well, they're doing the landscaping, and I drove by. I mean, the staff report is quite clear. It meets the 4 tests in my opinion, and it fits very well in the neighborhood of all industrial properties. I think there's sufficient parking, even at 47 spaces. So I think the staff report is conclusive, and it does meet the 4 tests. So that's just my observation.
Thank you, Michael. John?
And I concur with Michael. The only thing, we did get a letter from the neighboring property suggesting an issue, that there could be an issue with snow removal. And I would, I guess, agree with it. If the landlord understands that and does their best case to remove snow so it doesn't go on to the other property, I think that should be noted. But I don't have any issues outside of that, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Seeing that there aren't any other questions, did someone want to put a motion forward for this application?
Actually, I do have one, sorry, through you, Madam Chair, just one final quick question. I know with the reduction of the parking spaces, I just want to confirm that it wouldn't be impacting the actual count for the handicap parking spaces. It's the accessibility parking spaces will still be intact. It was just regular parking spaces that would be removed, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Does someone want to put a motion forward for this application? Michael?
Through you, Madam Chair. I agree with the staff report. I think it meets the 4 tests under the Planning Act, and I move to approve file number MV-2025-34, subject to the condition as in Appendix A. And also, just of note, John Hartman said about the snow, and we acknowledge that Lynn, the owner, will take care of that side of it. Thank you. So I move approval.
Thank you. And if I can please get a seconder? John, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Stephanie, do you want me to wait for the applicant to come on before I speak about MV 2025-36?
Through you, Madam Chair. No, that's okay. I'll let them know.
Okay, perfect. So our next item on tonight's agenda is MV 2025-36, 24 Corbett Crescent. This application has received 3 letters in support. This application is requesting relief from the requirements of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate the construction of a detached accessory residential unit. The following relief is being requested. Section 24.497.8 of the zoning bylaw 6000-17 states that the maximum accessory detached structure gross floor area is 40 square meters. The applicant is proposing an accessory detached structure with a gross floor area of 57 meters. Planning staff have reviewed this application with respect to section 45 subsection 1 of the Planning Act as amended, and are of the opinion that the requested variances does meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act for granting the minor variance. Staff are recommending approval of the requested variances subject to the conditions outlined in Appendix B attached to the staff report. I see is it Lily and Nima?
Yes, hello, I'm Lily.
Hi, if you can please do me a favor, if each of you could just state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, I'm Lily Barhemand, and Mr. Nima Behzad here, the property owner of 24 Corbett Crescent. Aurora.
Okay, and did you have a presentation for the committee, or are you just here for any questions?
Yeah, I have a short lecture for you. This is Leili Bahramand, and I'm applicant for this minor variance together with Mr. Nimo Behzad, the property owner of 24 Corbett Crescent. We are requesting approval to increase the size of our proposed garden suite by 70 square meters from the zoning bylaw. Limit of 40 square meter to 55. The purpose of this request is to create a safe, accessible, and functional living space for 2 senior family members and their caregivers. The additional space is necessary to provide a small bedroom with a kitchen, living room, and bathroom, allowing them to live independently while remaining close to family support. The garden suite will be entirely within the backyard. It fully complies with the setback, height, parking, and lot coverage requirements. There will be no negative impact on neighboring properties in terms of privacy or enjoyment. In fact, the design is consistent with the surrounding neighborhood and aligns with the town's official plan and the Province Bill 23 legislation, which encourage gentle intensification and housing diversity. Planning staff have reviewed our applicant and conclude that the variance meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act. They will recommend approval such to standard conditions such as a tree protection and necessary permits, which are fully committed to fulfilling. For these reasons, we respectfully request the committed approval of our application. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much for that. Do we have any questions from the committee members?
No, thank you.
No. And no questions from, oh, Michael?
Yes, through you, Madam Chair, just for the for observation purposes, I guess you're eliminating the garage altogether, right? There's not gonna be any garage on the property?
We have a 3 parking space and there's a garage now existing. We want to add a additional room for transfer the garage to garden suite.
So the entire existing garage will be converted to living accommodations, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're gonna do without a garage in the future?
No,
Yeah.
it's not necessary. Yeah.
Even currently, the garage was not being used as a garage, like it's just for storage, basically.
Okay. All right, that was the only question I had.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, would someone like to put forward a motion for this application? John?
Through you, Madam Chair, I would move to approve the MV 2025-36 at 24 Corbett Crescent under the assumption that all the conditions be fully met as attached to the planning document, staff document.
Thank you. And if I can please get a seconder? Thank you, Marisol. All in favor? Carried. Great. Thank you. Thank you both.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. So the next item on tonight's agenda is MV 2025-37, and that's 20 Birch Court. There is one letter of support for this application as well. The owner applicant is requesting relief from the requirements of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate a 1-story addition for an attached garage and a covered porch in front yard. The following relief is being requested. Section 7.2 of the zoning bylaw requires a minimum front yard of 6 meters. The applicant is proposing a 1-story addition with 0.1 of the meter setback to the front property line. Section 4.2 of the zoning bylaw requires a minimum front yard setback of 4.5 meters for open porches. The applicant is proposing a covered porch with 1.6 meter setback from the front property line. And section 4.2 of the zoning bylaw requires a minimum front yard setback of 4.5 meters for steps. The applicant is proposing porch steps with a 1.1 meter setback from the front property line. Planning staff have reviewed this application regarding section 45(1) of the Planning Act as amended and believe that the requested variances meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act for granting the minor variance. Staff are recommending approval of the requested variance subject to the conditions outlined in Appendix A attached to the staff report. And I see, if I could please have the two of you state your name and address for the record, that would be great.
Hi, Madam Chair. I'm Nick Dubik, and this is my wife.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm so nervous. So just like bear with us.
You're doing a
Like,
great job. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
so sorry. 20 Birch Court.
So if you guys can just please state your address for the record, that would be fantastic.
20 Birch Court, and we are seeking to build a garage, whereas the last party wanted to get rid of theirs. I see. So we want a garage.
Do you have like any sort of presentation for tonight, or are you just letting it go on the merits of the planning staff?
I'd just like to state up front that just to avoid any confusion, we would like to build out 11 feet, but we'd be taking 8 feet from the existing. Yes, the existing.
Oh, from the actual existing dwelling.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have? Sorry,
My
I was just going to
mother-in-law.
ask if any of the committee members had questions for you. John?
So just to clarify, you'll be adding 11 feet to the front, removing the existing, I guess, occupancy, or you've got a living room or family space in there. That will be removed and become part of a new garage by extension. So
That's
you'll be
right.
able to fit cars or whatever, or your supplies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, you had a question as well?
Yeah, this is maybe just a question for staff. I'm looking at the site plan, and I'm seeing an existing sidewalk, and the cars are now going to be basically abutting the existing sidewalk. If you look at the page 40, have staff reviewed that issue? Because now with the garages pulled forward, one car will be basically almost in the existing sidewalk. Is that an issue?
The drawing's a little bit misleading. The existing sidewalk isn't quite like that. There's a row of rocks followed by a garden bed and then the existing sidewalk.
So there's enough of a buffer zone between the sidewalk and the
8 to 10 feet.
I wasn't able to go out to look at the property. I'm sorry, but
Oh, no.
just a point of clarity there.
Yeah, 8 to 10 feet.
And Antonio, you wanted to add something?
Madam Chair, there's not going to be any changes to the existing sidewalk. What's there and as seen will remain. On page 42 of the PDF agenda, there's a visual image of the property as seen today, and you can see that there's the stones the applicant is referring to, and the sidewalk will remain as is with no impact, as the addition is completely within the property boundaries of the applicant and not on the municipal right of way.
Yeah, that wasn't my concern. The concern is when the addition is put forward 11 feet, would that impact the sidewalk? And I'm seeing that there is enough of a buffer that and the stones there won't impact it. So That's just one of the issues I had. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. Michael, I can attest to what the delegation is saying. I saw it and had the same visual concern, but there's enough space.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, is there someone who would like to put forward a motion for this application?
Well,
Michael?
Yes, through you, Madam Chair, I move to approve application MV, let me just get it straight here, MV 2025-37. Subject to the conditions in the app and the
In the
Staff.
staff report?
Yep.
Okay, and if I can please get a seconder for that? Thank you, John. All in favor? Carried. Your application has gone through.
Yay. Thank you.
You got a bigger garage.
Yay.
I don't think we've ever had a happier couple.
Right? Makes us
Thanks
feel
very
good for
much.
doing our job.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
both.
Thanks. Aurora rocks.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is file MV 2025-38, and that is for 15370 Bayview Avenue. The owner applicant is requesting relief from the requirement of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate a restaurant with a drive-through facility. The following relief is being requested. Section 24.298.1 of the zoning bylaw does not list a drive-through facility as a permitted use. The applicant is proposing a drive-through facility. Planning staff have reviewed the application regarding section 45(1) of the Planning Act as amended and believe that the requested variance meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act for granting the minor variance. Staff are recommending approval of the requested variance subject to the conditions outlined in Appendix A in the staff report. I see, and I'm sorry if I get your name wrong, is it Oz? Oz?
It is. Yes.
And Sean as well. If the two of you can just do me a favor, please, if you could state your name and your address for the record. And I'm not sure if you guys have a presentation for the committee as well.
Sure. Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Oz Kamal. I'm a partner with MHBC Planning. We're here today on behalf of Bayview Aurora Holdings, Inc. For their property at 15370 Bayview Avenue. Oz Kamal, address 12 James Street North, Hamilton.
Thank you very much. And if Sean, you could do the same.
Sean Seymour with the applicant. Address is 94 Meadowlands Drive, Cannington, Ontario.
Thanks very much. And as I mentioned, I'm not sure if you have a presentation or a verbal presentation for the committee.
We had prepared a presentation, but given that staff are supportive of it, and if they're we'd be happy to not do the presentation if that's easier for committee, and we could just answer any questions if committee would like us to go through a presentation, though we are prepared to do that.
Okay, I'll leave it up to the committee. Did anybody want to see the presentation, or did you just want to ask some questions?
I'd like to see the presentation because I'm unclear as to where the new drive through is.
Sure, not a problem.
That's a
why don't we
road
do
there
that?
that leads into Home Depot, and it's quite a busy road there. I'd like to be very clear, if I may.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Stephanie, will you be directing the presentation if I just say next slide?
Yes, I can do that for you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry to have you do that. As I said earlier, my name is Oz Kamal. I'm with MHBC Planning. So what we did here is that there was an application for site plan approval that was submitted back in June of 2025. The zoning preliminary review that was completed by the town identified the required variance for the drive-through. Next slide, please. So this is a slide that kind of shows you the overall shopping center. The area in red is the area of development. It's the existing Eastside Mario's that's going to be redeveloped to the new restaurant. There's no change to the access points into the center from Bayview Avenue. You have the north access that you can see there. The overall center is highlighted in the dashed blue. So there's the existing signalized driveway to the south. That's going to be maintained. The access to the north with the right in, right out is going to be maintained. And really, it's just a reconfiguration of that area in red within the site itself. So there's no impact to the overall site circulation or the access into the site. The subject lands have an overall lot area, and the subject lands being the area in yellow. So because it's an overall center in blue, it's actually broken up into several pieces. So because it's its own pin, the area in yellow that you see there is actually the subject lands, and we're just a piece of that in red. So the subject lands as a whole is 9,589 square meters with approximate frontage of 107 meters on Bayview with an approximate depth of 75 meters. As I noted, there's the two entrances off of Bayview, no proposed changes to this. And then that parcel within the yellow so right now it has an Eastside Mario's and then a multi-tenant plaza on the other end of it on the north side. No change to their parking field at all. Next slide, please. So again, our client is proposing a new restaurant with an outdoor patio within that area in red that we showed you on the slide before. The restaurant will have a drive-through that wraps around the building. The proposed restaurant will have an area of 461 square meters. So it's very close to the same size as the Eastside Mario's. With the multi-unit commercial plaza to the north. So this is oriented just to fit it on the page. So Bayview is east, and then the multi-unit plaza is paper left. So with the new proposed restaurant and the existing plaza, the area will be about 2,272.4 square meters. Again, you can see how the parking is being maintained outside of the area where it's being reconfigured, and how the access points coming into the plaza and the main spine drive aisle is being maintained as well. Through the site plan process, we've incorporated a visual wall barrier that poses as both an aesthetic barrier as well as a noise attenuation barrier as identified by staff through the site plan approval. What'll happen is once we've got this developed, there'll be 117 parking spaces here, 5 of which will be barrier free. The drive-through component can accommodate 30 car stacking within it. So it's quite a robust drive-through. And again, the access points to the subject lands will not change. If I could get the next slide, please. So due to the new drive-through facility, a minor variance is required to permit the drive-through as an accessory use to the restaurant in the 298 exception zone, just because it's silent on it. Next slide, please. And this is showing you what you would see from Bayview Avenue. So you can see where the restaurant will be of a brick facade, and the wall would be similar brick facade. So it almost seems like a seamless building with landscaping to help with the streetscape. And then just to the paper right of that is there will be a direct access, pedestrian access to Bayview that takes you right to the front doors of the proposed restaurant. Next slide, please. And then in terms of the 4 tests, the subject lands are designated community commercial center, intended to provide a full range of retail and service commercial uses. Restaurants are specifically listed as permitted in the community commercial center, and drive-through uses are identified as normally associated with restaurants in those provisions. The zoning for the site is major retail exception 298. Restaurant uses are permitted in that exception 298. It's just that it was silent on the drive-through, and after discussing with staff, they asked us to make the site plan application, and subject to getting towards the tail end of site plan approval, then make the variance request for the drive-through, which they are thankfully supporting. And I would like to just say that maybe next slide, please. So the drive-through, it promotes functionality throughout the site, will serve more members of the community than the standard sit-in restaurant would without the drive-through. And I would like to also add that the look and feel of it was through a collaborative effort with town staff and to provide an enhanced visual appearance along Bayview Avenue. So along Bayview Avenue, and again, the signalized access is being maintained, as is the access to the north. And then in terms of which is why it's appropriate and desirable. In terms of minor nature, we've dealt with a lot of the compatibility through the site plan approval process. We provided traffic studies, we provided noise studies, and then it was through that urban design exercise back and forth with staff where we got to a design that everybody was happy with, and hence why we made the variance application as we did. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Michael?
Thank you for that presentation. Through you, Madam Chair. I just have one concern. I can see that the entrance I can see the little cars here, will be into the back of where the existing Eastside Mario's is. And then it swings around and then it exits. And I see 2 handicap parking spaces right there. Is there any way, I mean, that to me is a little bit of a difficulty there because drive-through cars are exiting and there's an immediate 2 handicap spaces there. Has planning considered that?
So is that a question for me or for planning?
Yeah, is that something that might cause a safety risk?
What I can tell you is through the site plan approval process, because we've reconfigured the orientation of the restaurant main doors, we've been asked to add 2 more accessible parking stalls that are shown on the site plan, and they're available almost right in front of the main door.
So there's only 2 there that I see.
There's 4 if you look at Stephanie, if you could go back and bring up the slides again. So if you can go to the current, go up 1 slide, I think. So you can see the 2 that I see the 2 that you're talking about at the exit on the north end.
Yes, that's right.
If you look down towards the middle, you'll see 2 additional accessible parking stalls that have been provided. Yes,
I do see those. Yeah.
Yeah. So my
concern is there enough of a buffer between the exiting through traffic of the cars to not.
I think what we could do is because the variances for the drive-through, what we could do is we could take that back with staff through the site plan, because we haven't finalized the site plan yet. And then if staff could review it and identify it for us, we can go back to the landlord and see if we can relocate those accessible stalls either closer to the existing plaza to the north, or relocate them a little bit closer to the Chick-fil-A restaurant main door.
Yeah.
Or the proposed restaurant main door.
Yeah, I think I'd feel more comfortable with that, simply because they are elderly people that would be parking there and disabled people. So to have them immediately next to a exit for a drive-through might cause some concerns there.
That's understandable.
So if I may ask, do you have a tenant in mind?
We're not actually allowed to disclose the tenant at this point.
Okay.
It
That's
is,
fine.
there is a tenant. That's why the proposal is specific for the configuration that it is. What we can do though is, if the variance comes with the condition that it's subject to the site plan per the approval of the director, and so this is part of that site plan process. So what we can do is work through the accessible parking through that site plan process. I think the way that the variance is approved still covers that.
Yeah. I see one of the conditions there, I know. Okay, I'm good with that. If staff can make note of that.
Thank you. And John, did you have a question as well?
My question is the wall that you referenced that is parallel to Bayview Avenue that will make that facade kind of seamless on Bayview. What's the height of that wall proposed? And the reason for my question, as the stacked cars come through the tenant, and I'm assuming that this is going to be some sort of variable of a quick service restaurant, a QSR. What about the lights? Will they take the car headlights off from the residential properties on the other side of Bayview?
Yeah, yes, it will. So the wall proposed, hang on one second, the height of the wall. It's on the thing, but it's blurry. So give me 2 seconds. I'll just pull it up for you. What it does do is it not only covers the headlights of the car, it covers the top of the car. So in essence, you don't see the car.
Okay.
And the only time that the only direction where you would see headlights is facing north towards the store. So it takes it right off of the houses across the street. We made sure of that. That was a paramount concern of town staff when we first came in for pre-consultation. So we made sure that we addressed that.
It makes reference to another drive-through in the plaza to the north, but both of those drive-throughs are banks. One doesn't impede on Bayview and the other one is almost hidden. So they're kind of they're not comparatives.
I understand. The wall, not even to the top of the wall, almost to the top of the wall, is just shy of 10 feet.
Okay. All right. And although you're not allowed to divulge who the tenant will be, are you able to divulge its hours of operation? Is this going to be a late night drive-through feature? No. Okay.
No, it won't.
Madam Chair, those are the only two questions I had.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for the applicant? Seeing no other questions, would someone like to please put forward a motion for the application? Michael?
Through you, Madam Chair, I move to approve. Let me get the application number. Okay. I can't find it. Is it
Page 43 of the agenda, if you have the agenda in front of you. 43.
Yeah, I move to approve MV 2025-38, subject to conditions in Appendix A. In addition to condition number 2, I'd just like a little phrase to have staff, through the Director of Planning Development designate, look at the 2 handicap parking spaces, if that can be moved away from the exit from the drive-through.
Okay. And if I could please get a seconder for that motion. Thank you, Maricela. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Okay, so our next application on tonight's agenda is MV 2025-35, and it's for 129 Wells Street. The applicant is requesting relief from the requirements of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate the construction of a 2-story addition and a new detached garage. The following relief is being requested. Section 24.497.3.2 of the zoning bylaw requires a minimum interior side yard setback of 3 meters beyond the main rear wall of the adjacent dwelling. The applicant is proposing a two-story addition, which is 1.95 meters to the interior side northern property line, thereby requiring a variance of 1.05 meters. Section 7.2 of the zoning bylaw requires a minimum interior side yard setback of 1.2 meters. The applicant is proposing a detached garage, which is 0.6 meters to the interior side southern property line, thereby requiring a variance of 0.6 meters. Section 7.2 of the zoning bylaw requires a minimum front yard setback of 6 meters. The applicant is proposing a two-story addition, which is 5.3 meters to the front property line, thereby requiring a variance of 0.7 meters. Planning staff have reviewed the application with respect to section 45(1) of the Planning Act as amended and are of the opinion that the requested variances meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act for granting the minor variance. Staff recommend approval of the requested variance subject to the conditions outlined in Appendix A attached to the staff report. Hi, Chris. If you could please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Chris Bertato of C-Space Architecture. I'm the agent and architect for this project on behalf of Michael and Kim Downs, the property owners. Our office address is 8841 George Bolton Parkway, Unit B5 in Caledon.
Thank you very much. And did you have some kind of a presentation for the committee, or are you just here to answer any questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I can speak a little bit about the project if you like and justify it a bit.
Sure.
Okay. The proposed project is to renovate and construct additions to an existing detached 1.5-story house at 129 Wells Street. The additions proposed involve raising the roof level so the house is a true 2-story, extending the rear of the house along with a deck, expanding the front porch area, and replacing the existing rear yard detached garage with one that can accommodate 2 vehicles. So the ideas behind our request center around enhancing a house that is currently one of the smallest in its neighborhood to one of a still modest size that can accommodate the needs of the family while integrating with and adding to the historical charm of the neighborhood. We're not looking to match the size of several recent infill developments in this neighborhood, but we are looking to upgrade the safety, comfort, and accommodations of the house for a family that's maturing and downsizing from an elementary stage. I'll just briefly go over some of the justification for each variance if you'd like. For item A, we consider that a very minor request for the rear setback addition or setback request, as the rear addition is proposed to extend about 0.6 meters beyond the neighbor to the north's rear yard wall. And one of the letters of support that have been received is from this neighbor. Item B, the existing detached garage is actually closer to the south property line than the proposed new garage we're proposing. So our PZR drawings have showed a proposed setback of 0.3 meters, but we revised this later to 0.6 meters to allow for better drainage design and constructability that will not obstruct the neighbors adjacent south of the property. Item C, the front yard setback is not proposed to change from what is an existing condition, but we are proposing to construct a true 2nd story atop of the existing 1st story. The house's front yard setback is existing. It's either the same or a bit behind the front face of adjacent dwellings in this side of Wells Street. This might be because the existing porch is significantly smaller than those of its neighbors, which brings us to items D and E, the front porch and steps. So given that the existing house is set back 5.3 meters from the front yard property line, achieving 4.5 meters with a porch would be impossible. The owners also wish to have a more welcoming covered front porch and centrally located stair system that matches others in the neighborhood. And I believe the 4 houses directly to the north all have this design and the similar setbacks, 125, 121, 119, and 117 wells, while offering room for comfortable shelter and seating. Okay, item F. The owners have 2 vehicles, including a pickup truck, and would like to just have room for both of them to fit within the garage as they see fit, as well as fulfill utility functions such as storing garbage and other storage. And then for item G, the last one, the driveway width as proposed would only occur at the rear yard of the property, where it will widen after passing the house and connecting to the garage. So 75% of the driveway will remain as existing, 4.5 meters wide where it meets Wells Street, and that's how it will look from the street, and 3 meters wide for the majority of its length. We've read the 3 letters received, 2 in favor, and 1 is in opposition to 3 of the variances. We thank those who wrote in support and maintain that the house is proposed to match the aesthetic and materiality of existing house and other historical examples that make up the adjacent stable neighborhoods. To the neighbor from Kennedy Street, I believe, who opposed some of the variances, allow me to, I guess, argue or rebut that arguing regarding item 2, the proposed detached garage is actually proposed to be a bit further from the south lot line than the existing one. We will do what we can to either retain or replace the existing vegetation along the east lot line, thus maintaining privacy between the 2 properties. Regarding items 4 and 5, as already mentioned, the existing house is already located where it is, so the setback is not changing. Pretty much every house in this side of Wells, especially as also mentioned, 125, 121, 119, and 117 have similar covered porch and front stair design to what we're proposing with similar setbacks. 129 Wells actually appears to be set a little bit further back because of its small porch currently. And the porch and stair design we're proposing will make this house more uniform and will fit in even better with the neighborhood than the existing house does, in my opinion. We're thankful for Aurora Planning's stated support in passing the 4 tests necessary. And we have also read the conditions of approval outlined in Appendix A and accept them and have taken proactive steps to satisfy them, particularly the grading and landscape arborist portions. I will also welcome any questions you might have about the project.
Thank you very much for that. Are there any questions from the committee? Seeing none, can I get a motion for the application? John?
Through you, Madam Chair, I would move to approve applicant MV 2025-35 at 129 Wells Street, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report in Appendix A.
Thank you very much. And if I can please get a seconder. Thank you, Maricela, and all in favor. Carried. Great.
Thank you,
very
Madam
much.
Chair and committee. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. So our next item on tonight's agenda is new business. I'm not sure, does anybody have any items of new business? John?
Not necessarily new business, but the next meeting that we have on the Thursday night, if all goes to plan, my plane will land at 1:30 in the afternoon. So I may be late or I may be missing it. I will do my best to attend the meeting, whatever jet lag I might have, but I will do my best. But just to give it notice to you, Madam Chair. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, wherever you are going, have a wonderful trip and a safe one.
thank you.
Okay, seeing no new business, if I could please get a mover for adjournment at 8:03. Thank you, Michael. Meeting adjourned.